Welcome back to Hematitehomestead. For my next trick, I'm going to turn this into this. Alright, here we go to some more sugar, and it's no magic wands involved, no abracadabras, it's all science, no magic at all. This is not going to get me on Penn and Teller's full us, and even if it did, I wouldn't win the trophy because I'm going to show you exactly how I'm doing this. So a couple of mistakes that I made last time are not necessarily mistakes, but some learning points. I think I took it off a little bit too early. I mentioned in the last video that it was starting to give me a burning smell, and I was afraid of that I was burning it up, but it turns out it was just fine. And the biggest point I learned out of that was to trust the foam. When this is ready, I won't be able to stir the foam down anymore. I do have my thermometer here, but I'm not really going to use it, I don't think. I'm going to try and rely on the foam. The foam doesn't lie. It tells us exactly what's going on in this pot. I've got some quartz that we made up last weekend, and I'm going to start off with one at a time. And also last time, you saw me a couple of times, I started off in that little tiny 12 by 9 pan, and then I put it in the big 18-inch stainless bowl, and then ended up going back in the pot that I cooked it down in. And I was having a hard time getting it to actually break up and disperse. I was just flopping it around. Once it started to crystallize and it was forming big clumps, and I was just flopping around. But the biggest thing I found was I was only using one mixer. I just had the one mixer on it, and when I put the other mixer on, I was much more successful, and I was actually starting to do a lot of action in there and getting it all mixed up. I started off with one mixer because I watched somebody on YouTube do it with just one mixer, and it didn't really work out that well for me. I was just flopping it from one side to the other with one mixer. So we're going to use two mixers today, and I also got a much bigger pan. I got this pan, it's 4 inches deep, and it's let's see here, I don't remember the dimensions on it. That's 12 by 20. So it'll give me lots of surface area to work with, and hopefully we'll get it in here and get it all mixed up and start crystallizing and releasing moisture and turning into sugar. I took my wire brush and cleaned off in here. I bowled over several times yesterday when I was making my last batch, and I got it all cleaned up and ready to go. Let me get a little fire going in here. I don't know what happened to my striker, so there we go. I don't really like doing that. Alright, here we go, and I will try to set up this camera where you can see right down the pot and see what this stuff is doing. So I'm going to do a quarter at a time so that if I mess it up, I don't mess it all up. So here we go. And it doesn't seem like very much, only about ½ inch in the bottom of the pan. I might add another quart here and do two. I do have some standby quarts in the house from last year that we can throw in here if I don't really care for how much we're making at a time. Alright, so I'm going to bowl this and we'll stir the bubbles down. When we can't stir the bubbles down anymore, we'll put it straight into our pan. Last time I said to let it cool off. I think I let it cool off a little bit too much, so I'm going to pretty much go right at it as soon as I get to where I want to be. And I'm not real happy with that level in there. I think I want to raise that up some. So I'm going to do another half a quart. Roughly. All right, so we got about a quart and a half. I'll put my gloves on just because this releases a lot of heat, and especially when it starts steaming really bad, and it'll burn your hand up. So try to avoid that. Something else I kept saying last time, I kept saying 262 degrees, but what it really is 50 degrees above the boiling point of water. And to do that the right way, you're really supposed to boil water right alongside of this and monitor the boiling temperature of the water. And then you're shooting for 50 degrees above that. I'm not doing that. I'm going to try and watch the bubbles. Stop. It looks all burned up. It smells all burned up. Scorched the bottom of the pan. So now let's see what we got here. Well, this is a lot different than what we came up with last time. Again, I got the big giant rocky pebbles in here. I'm going to take those in the house and try to break them up. And it's much different color than last time too. How about the taste though? Yeah, this actually tastes better than the last one. But I think I got too much moisture in here. So I might have to go inside and put this in the oven and try and get some of these big rocks out of it. Alright, that was a bit odd. It looks way different than last time, and I really don't know how to describe it. It's very moist too. I got it in the house, I put it in a cookie sheet, and we'll go at it again. I like this pot better. It's got a nice thick bottom on it. And we'll try this again. I got another 1.5 quarts in here. So we'll see what we get here. I've cut the heat off, and there's about what I got. See, it scorched the bottom of the pan again. I don't really understand. This is going nothing like last time. Let's see if we can make some sugar. Here's a look at what we're doing here. This is much different than what we made last time. And this was a lot darker syrup than what we used last time too, and so maybe I'm expecting something that I'm not going to get here. Last time it was a really light brown. This time we got kind of a dark brown, and lots of big clumps in it. I'm having a hard time getting broke up. See, this is where it crystallizes and holds moisture. It's really soft. So I think we'll go inside and get my cookie sheets out and working this in the oven a little bit and run it through a food processor, try and get these big clumps out of it, and we'll be back to see what the end result of that is. Alright, so that is maple sugaring here at Hematitehomestead for 2022. I got roughly about 4.5 pounds of fine sugar and about 2.5 pounds of coarse sugar. And so I took you through that process twice. I told you about some things that I did a little bit different this time. The biggest thing I noted on this batch that I did yesterday and this morning is that the color was a little bit different, but I used a darker syrup, and I was a little bit worried about it when I was cooking it down on the stove, but when I got it inside and finished it up, it turned out it was just fine. I think the color difference was just in the syrup. So I'm breaking down my stove here. I got a little bit of fire going in here. I put some vinegar in here to disinfect a little bit, and we'll do that again before we start up again next season, next February. This, you can kind of see it in here. I use this hot water to clean my sugar pots, so it's brown now, but it was nice clean water. I got out of the faucet over at the house, and I put all my tubing in it and all my taps, and I let them cook in some warm vinegar water for a little bit. Package all those up in a 5-gallon bucket, put them away in the house, and we'll figure out what to do with this over the rest of the year, and I'll try and put it somewhere where the chickens will stay out of it. So that is maple sugaring right here at Hematitehomestead off of maple trees right here on the property. And thanks so much for joining us for this, and hit that like button if you like what we're doing here, and subscribe to Hematitehomestead. Probably only one video this week. I'm headed to Fresno, Ohio to Hand-Hewn Farms for another hog workshop here in a couple days. So I will try to get another video on. I got a project I want to get started on video. I don't know if I'll get time in the next 2 days to get that wrapped up. But definitely see you next time. We'll be back soon with some new exciting stuff right here at Hematitehomestead. Thanks for watching.